stopping all those fighting souls, but yet across the world I see you standing in my way. And remember the time, the place we used to fight, like the sun and moon, and I wonder if ever there was a time that we were friends. The night has fallen, shadows looming, and yes, that time has come for me to seek you out. We are set now for our last reunion. Break the chains, find your way, come find me. Do you remember who you really are? Show me that you are still the only one for me. I'll be waiting for you. Blink up, open your eyes, raising up your fists and smashing through time walls. Before the rift splinters on in, we are rebels till the end. Rise up, open your mind, hold on to your powers. No one can stop us. We are rivals till the end of time.
Marvel Rivals is an artful blend of smart marketing and well-crafted gameplay, is the next gaming giant born. You may not believe it, but in an era where the core of making big games, AA works, is defined by incomplete releases, terrible optimization, and setting up all kinds of in-app glitches to drain gamers' pockets. In an era where the recurring patterns of the year's best games have led to an unprecedented reduction in players' expectations and standards, creating a product that is above average and surpassing all existing games is one of the easiest things in the world.
Check out the environment around you. Time to follow the guiding line into the mission area.
When Logman answered the question, "Where did you learn manners from?" with the answer, "From the root," he probably knew that one day, a Chinese studio called NetEase, relying on this proverb, and regardless of moving in the direction that the likes of Blizzard and Overwatch to have encountered difficulties in, would create a product that would now stand up to its competitors. Marvel Rivals is a phenomenon of the internet these days that has ruthlessly won the hearts of gamers, with its free offering, masterful marketing, attractive gameplay, and thoughtful features. A work that we will dissect in this article, and answer the question of how Marvel Rivals can pull itself out of the water in the face of greats such as Fortnite, Overwatch, and Deadlock from Valve Studios.
Unleash your ultimate ability and wipe
Judge, jury, execute!
As you know, Marvel Rivals is a hero shooter game focused on online competitions, and there is no such thing as a story section. However, by creating an extensive plot and shaping a narrative that expands continuously through seasonal content, the game has established and justified the gathering and battles of the popular Marvel Comics superheroes in the best possible way.
Our hero with skills to protect his allies. Charge up for an incredible...
Dr. Doom and his efforts to bridge science and magic disrupt the balance of the composite universe or parallel universes. This causes different versions of superheroes from other parallel universes to meet and choose their own side, a choice that translates into a battlefield between gamers in the gameplay. However, there are important points to note about the narrative of Marvel Rivals.
Go ahead and engage with that device to move on.
The world depicted in Marvel Rivals narrative bridges the gap between game design and hypertext in the best possible way. The work in question pits superheroes against each other and provides a gamer's playground through a story centered on parallel universes. On the other hand, it is the free-to-play game, Marvel Rivals, that, by introducing Dr. Doom and his decisive role in determining the fate of parallel universes, prepares its millions of viewers for the two films Avengers, Doomsday and Avengers, Secret Wars. In this way, Marvel Rivals becomes a hypertextual and multimedia portal that not only bridges the gap between games and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but also connects to any medium of Marvel stories from parallel universes. You can probably imagine the endless potential of such a situation, the potential to design diverse maps, feature diverse characters with different abilities and gameplay depth, organize events and sell skins that are rooted in Marvel movies, comics and animations. We are talking about Marvel and its heroes. Today's popular culture phenomena. The potential of Marvel Rivals easily goes beyond the gaming medium, and in the not-too-distant future, we should never be surprised if we see the aforementioned work able to approach Fortnite in terms of economic and cultural inclusion. The competition in Marvel Riots takes place in the form of 6-on-6 battles. Out of all 33 characters in the game, the gamer must choose his character from the Vanguard, Duelist, or Strategist class and appear on the battlefields. Here are some of the major flaws of the game. One of these problems is the lack of restrictions and order in choosing a role queue, which disrupts the balance of roles in a team. For example, no player in your team may be willing to experience the game as a support force and a healer. This is where the lack of a role queue that regulates the structure of teams causes your team to enter the field with 6 duelist characters and lose. Another problem is the low variety of characters available in the Strategist class. This is one of the things that makes most players avoid the Strategist class and prefer to play with more popular superheroes who have found a place in the Duelist and Vanguard classes. The more interesting and diverse the Strategist characters will become, which will happen with the addition of more famous heroes, anti-heroes from the Marvel Universe, is something I hope to see in future seasons of the game. While we're still talking about the weaknesses of Marvel Season 0, I can't forget the imbalance in the power of some characters. Characters like Iron Fist can be defined as meta holes in the game structure that make it easier to win a competition. Like almost all competitive online video games, Marvel's Riots is also plagued with a series of character balance issues that are expected to be fixed as soon as possible with updates. Even though the developers had the opportunity to re-examine the balance formula after several private beta events, they still released the final product with balancing issues.
Stop them in their tracks!
Let's move on to the gameplay. The game currently offers 3 modes: casual match, competitive, ranked, and conquest. In casual and ranked, the competition in the 2 categories of escort and capture the area must attack the positions of their opponent's team or defend their areas. The most important positive point around the gameplay of the game is the very good depth of its systems and mechanisms.
Judge, jury, executioner!
The experience of playing with each character is very diverse, and thanks to the admirable depth that has been defined for the gameplay framework of each of these characters, the competitions and the learning challenge axes have been set for the gamer and are engaging and deep. Thus, players will be engaged for hours with the movement and combat mechanisms to master their desired character, and by gaining experience in the training section and battlefields, they will master their character. Regarding the gameplay, the depth and complexity of the game's movement and combat system should never be overlooked. From Doctor Strange, who can open portals anywhere on the map, Spider-Man, whose web swinging depends on precise mouse controller aiming, to Black Widow's single-shot shooting, and Black Panther's complex combos, the NetEase team has succeeded in creating a very suitable framework, with high depth and an optimal challenge learning axis for the gamer.
Better stop that vehicle!
Add to that the Team Up feature, a component that builds around related characters from a lore perspective and activates special abilities for them. Details like these, along with the excellent combat structure and movement mechanics, highlight the tactical dimensions of competition in Marvel Riots.
I don't think that's the welcoming committee.
Grand finale!
Feeling sharp.
If you're a serious live service gamer, you know that half the fun of playing these games is the constant rewards and points. Live service shooters reward players for their performance in the game through experience points and access to new items in the Battle Pass. Although the Marvel Rivals Battle Pass is never limited to seasons and progress is permanent, in Season 0 of the game, the progression in the Battle Pass is not smooth. The inefficient challenge reward system and its very slow pace in recording points and presenting new challenges have led to extremely slow progress in the Battle Pass and reduced player motivation in the game experience.
A nice deep freeze.
Regarding the gameplay structure, it should be said that NetEase Studio has been quite successful in creating a suitable skeleton for creating an entertaining and enjoyable experience. The overall gameplay structure of the game is really suitable, and the experience of playing with each of the characters, the experience of participating in competitions, and becoming a professional in using the characters, thanks to the appropriate depth of the gameplay systems, are very well made. On the other hand, there is a long way to go between Marvel Rivals and a polished hero shooter. From the role queue fixes and the low diversity of heroes, anti-heroes in the strategist and vanguard classes, to the problems with character power imbalances and battle A-pass progression speed issues. These are things that are expected to be fixed as soon as possible.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner. It's the grand finale.
From an artistic perspective, I still don't know what words to use to describe the game. Words like amazing, fantastic, and awesome don't even begin to describe the high value of the work. The art direction, map design, character design, and even the game's UI design are speechless. From the combination of the cel shade art approach to the oriental elements in the creation of the comic, manga pages, they have created a spectacular creation that is as beautiful as Mez shot against Liverpool in 2019.
Your powers are mine!
The map design is similar, and they are also destructible, adding a tactical dimension to the game's battles. Of course, you shouldn't expect maps with a destructible foundation, like those in Battlefield or the finals, but be aware that the destructibility of the game's maps is enough to change the outcome of a big battle, or an up-close and personal fight. From a technical perspective, however, things are a bit unstable. The game is optimized with version 5 of the Unreal Engine, and while the game's conditions are better than other recent optimizations of this graphics engine, the unstable conditions that govern the game's execution are still annoying.
A commendable effort.
But in terms of sound, as well as artistic effects, we are faced with a wonderful experience. Although Season 0 of the game does not see a very interesting performance in terms of utilizing the musical potential during the competitions, the voice actor's performance is excellent. From the voice acting of Yuri Lowenthal, who has now become one of the icons of Spider-Man's voice acting after Josh Keaton, and Christopher Daniel Barnes, to Nolan North as Rocket Raccoon, Laura Bailey as Black Widow, along with another wonderful performance by Steve Bloom as Wolverine, they combine with the game's visual effects to immerse the player in the game experience. As expected, the free-to-play live service game Marvel Rivlas has gotten off to a strong start, a product that, in all its cleverness, and relying on flawed competitors like Blizzard, has won the hearts of players simply by adhering to the minimum standards of a free-to-play hero shooter video game that respects the time and economy of its audience. Marvel Rivlas is a platform that, in addition to its gameplay attractions, bridges the gap between Marvel films and print media, and becomes a gathering place for Marvel Comics lovers. The game's economic and cultural growth potential, as well as its game design and competitive potential, are extremely high. Currently, there is a long way between this game and its potential to mature, and in the coming seasons, and the resolution of serious gameplay problems, a growing trend is expected for the game.
Now's the time to hit him.
Positive points: character structure, visual design, fun overall gameplay framework, very good depth of movement and combat systems, awesome UI art and iconography, excellent character voice acting.
You'll go.
I need assistance.
This is real fire!
Negative points: executive, technical instability, character power imbalance, battle pass progression mechanisms are not optimal, lack of role queue structure and team formation, low diversity of strategist and vanguard class characters, minimal use of music potential during each hand. If you like this video, like it now, and become a member of our family by pressing the subscribe button. Activate the bell so you never miss our interesting videos.